quite...
James Marsden's portrayal of Cyclops in X-Men The Last Stand was widely criticized, and many fans were disappointed with the handling of the character. The film's treatment of Cyclops was deemed unsatisfactory, with minimal screen time and a lack of depth for such a pivotal member of the X-Men. This disappointment reached its peak when the character met an untimely demise early in the movie, leaving fans feeling let down. As the Marvel Cinematic Universe gears up to introduce the X-Men, there's a collective hope among fans that Cyclops will receive the justice he deserves, and Marvel might be just doing exactly that. Now this brings us to Henry Cavill possibly jumping into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You probably know him as Superman or Geralt from the Witcher series or from his new movie Argylle. The guy's done Sherlock Holmes too. So he used to hang out with DC, but now he's waving goodbye to them and The Witcher. Now, the big buzz is all about him teaming up with the MCU. People are super excited, but there's this burning question, who's he gonna play? Some folks threw around ideas like Doctor Doom, but the insider who spilled the beans shot that down real quick, and I think we have better actors to play that role. Anyway, the online speculation game is strong, and a bunch of us, myself included, are thinking Captain Britain could be his thing. He's British, and he once mentioned he'd love to rock the role. But hey, it's all up in the air, and that's cool. Now, there's another theory floating around. What if he's our new Cyclops, Scott Summers, in the MCU? Imagine him leading the charge for the X-Men, which he got very little to do in Fox's X-Men movies. Lately, there's been this massive debate about who's going to be the big cheese in the MCU. Back in the Infinity Saga days, we had our main guys, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, the head honchos, you know? But now, it's a bit up in the air. We've got Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, and more. People are throwing around arguments, but there's no one superhero sitting on the throne as the clear-cut leader. So everyone knows that with Deadpool and Wolverine, the X-Men are stepping into the MCU, and it looks like they're bringing a leader with them, and that leader might just be Henry Cavill as Cyclops. Here's the scoop. The insider, who seems to be having her moment in the spotlight, spilled the beans that Cavill is officially in the MCU. Someone on Twitter suggested he'd make a killer Doctor Doom, but our insider shut that down and spilled the real tea. Marvel Studios offered Cavill a gig, he said yes, and voila, he's part of the MCU family now, at least on paper. Now, everyone initially thought he might be Captain Britain, and it made sense. He's British and even talked about wanting to play that role before. But surprise, surprise, our insider, being the buzzkill she is, complete with a crying emoji for the trending Captain Britain hashtag, dropped the bomb that most guesses were dead wrong. So it looks like we might be in for a dose of Cyclops instead. The insider then chimed in with a tweet saying, "Hey, some of you actually nailed it. Sorry for the confusion." So why does Cyclops make total sense for Henry Cavill in the MCU? Well, here's the lowdown. We already know it's not Doctor Doom, and it doesn't seem to be Captain Britain either. Enter Cyclops, the man of the hour. The scooper spills that it just clicks for both Marvel Studios and Henry Cavill. There's some secret sauce in the mix that makes Cyclops the perfect character for him to bring to life in the MCU. Marvel Studios shook things up with their X-Men plans for the multiverse saga. Surprise, surprise! They're rolling out sooner than expected. Initially, the grand plan was to just bring in the OG Fox X-Men crew, for a Deadpool 3 party, and then later reunite them in Avengers Secret Wars. Picture this. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, maybe Andrew Garfield's Spidey, hanging out with Wolverine and the gang, old-school Cyclops, James Marsden, and Halle Berry, reprising her role as Storm. But hold up, the script just got a rewrite, and now it seems like Marvel's cooking up something different. But why the sudden change of plans? Well, it turns out the Marvel Studios hit a bump named Jonathan Majors. The guy got in some hot water with a guilty verdict for reckless assault and harassment. Marvel Studios promptly showed him the exit door and hit pause on their Kang plans. Rumor has it they might even toss Kang into the maybe later bin or sideline him, depending on who you ask. Anyway, that leaves Marvel with a Kang-shaped hole in their upcoming movies. But hold your horses, because some cosmic circus insiders with a stellar track record say Kang might not be out for the count, just taking a little breather. Regardless, there's a void in the script, and Marvel could fill it with a shiny new X-Men team. What's the big reveal to get fans hyped, you asked? Picture this. Henry Cavill, aka Superman himself, leading the charge for the fresh X-Men squad in the MCU. Marvel's in full revamp mode, and the excitement is through the roof, the buzz about X-Men 97 and the Fantastic Four announcement. Fans are on cloud nine, and what better way to keep the party going than by bringing in the X-Men a bit earlier than expected. Plus, there are fresh reports swirling around that they've got an X-Men project in the works. Word on the street is it might go by the name The Mutants, and get this, it could hit the screens before Avengers Secret Wars. Now, why does that make sense? Well, imagine the ultimate crossover with the OG X-Men, the new squad, Avengers, and some alternate Avengers from different universes. That's a recipe for excitement right there. And get ready for the X-Men to steal the spotlight in the MCU. They're gearing up to be a big deal alongside the Fantastic Four. But here's the kicker, they need someone seriously powerful to steer the ship. Who better than the man himself, Henry Cavill? Especially if Cyclops, not Professor X, is taking the reins of the new X-Men crew. Now, Kevin Feige, the big cheese at Marvel Studios, isn't one for the same old, same old. No classic Spider-Man origin story in Homecoming, and rumors are floating around that the Fantastic Four movie might throw us for a loop, happening in a universe where Reed Richards and Sue Storm are already hitched and possibly parenting. Some even say it could be in a whole different universe, not the main 616 one. Long story short, Feige's not a fan of the same old tales. We've seen our fair share of Professor X and Wolverine taking the lead in the X-Men tales, and don't get me wrong, it was epic. But how about a switch-up? Cyclops taking the spotlight, leading the charge under Professor X's watchful eye. And hey, that's exactly what we glimpsed in the awesome X-Men 97 trailer. They've got Cyclops front and center. In fact, he's a key founding member of the X-Men. In the realm of American popular culture, Cyclops embodies the archetype of the traditional hero. This sets him apart from the grittier, anti-authority antiheroes that gained prominence in American pop culture post-Vietnam War, like his X-Men teammate Wolverine. Now imagine this twist in the MCU, and who better to rock the Cyclops role than the fantastic Henry Cavill? I mean, the guy's not just a great actor, he's got the physique to match. Have you seen Cyclops from the comics or the animated series? Always ripped, and Henry Cavill, with his Superman shape, could totally pull it off. The dude is practically a real-life Cyclops. Well, that's it for today. For now, make sure that you like our video. Please share your views in the comments section with us. Subscribe to the channel to get updated, and do not forget to hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you at the next one.